Hi everyone, my name's Roy Pollard. I run the PBEM game, The Isles. I thought I'd give you a quick rundown about what we do and what the game's about. It's going to be pretty brief because this is going to be my first vlog, apart from a test vlog. So it'll only be 2 or 3 minutes. It's just a rundown of the actual state of the game and what we're doing with it. So The Isles play by mail. It was originally started in about 1988 by myself when I was 17. It's a play by mail RPG game, so it's hand moderated and it's predominantly processed by a human rather than an awful lot of games that are processed by a computer by inputting um, simplified data and then it's processed and you get pages back. With the Isles, it's actually hand moderated and you get prose back. You get a written turn. I'll show you an example of a turn in a few minutes' time. This image here we've got is the image of the Isles Game of Outcast rulebook, just basically to show you an introduction to the actual vlog itself. Okay, so moving away from that, this is just a quick example of how the game used to look in the 80s. This is the first rulebook cover. Very crappy looking these days. So I've fished it out from the bottom of a box. It looked really nice when it started off, but I think we've improved on the graphics and the presentation of the game since we restarted it about 2 or 3 years ago. The iOS has been running intermittently since the 1990s for just 2 or 3 people. But these days we thought we'd put it on a slightly steadier footing and have it running via PBeM for a slightly bigger player base. We don't have a huge amount of players, but it's enough to keep the game turning over pretty reasonably. Um, this is an old Islander, which is our newsletter for the game. This is an old one from about 1991. Again, we used to rely on the best graphics and the best illustrations and the best output that we could. Because it's a role playing game, you can't just have a computerized page of figures. You need some graphics and stuff. So this has been our ethos since we actually started the game, trying to use the best that we can, the best that we can afford. These days, we're able to use AI, we're able to use decent design tools, we're able to use decent templates. So it looks a bit better, but the ethos has always been to try and make it look reasonable. Much like people playing Dungeons and Dragons or face-to-face games usually want a little bit of content, a little bit of graphic to hold their attention. It's better to show a map and it's better to show an image to highlight something rather than just rely on the GM describing stuff. This is one of our turn sheets. This is an example. You'll see me turning away a few times because I'm looking at different screens to actually generate some of these images. This is a graphic showing a typical turn sheet from a couple of years ago. We have changed the graphics and improved them a little bit, but this is pretty much what it looks like still. And this is a turn sheet that you'd get back, or Marcus Requiem's player would get back when they've actually input orders. They basically just write down on a PDF what they want to do during their game turn, send it in to us, and this is really what they'll get back in return. It normally spans 2, 3, up to about 6 or 7 pages for the average turn. And I'm just trying to find out which one it will be. There it is. So there you go. So it's all written in prose. It's a story. It's the response to what the player wants to do. These days on turns you get a lot more graphics and things like that, but here we've got a response to what a player's done, and then they'll receive that back and then they'll respond to what's been on this turn sheet. So there we go. Let's get rid of that for the time being. Okay, so graphics, we use an awful lot of graphics and illustrations and things like that in the game, just to highlight what's going on, just to show you pictures of what you might see, just to give you an idea of what's going on. These are commonly accessible graphics that you can use within the game. If you've been to somewhere, this is like the southeast part of the main town in the game called Elanthor. So this is the southeast area with the marketplace and various other places. It's pretty much like most role-playing game maps, made up from different templates and stuff, but it's better than just wandering around and not knowing where you are. At least you can see where the marketplace is in relation to the gate, blah de blah de blah. So we embed these type of images into the actual game turns quite a bit. Makes things look a lot better. Didn't used to have access to this type of graphic in the 80s and 90s when it was originally run, but it's far better now to have some nice graphics, which is what we're trying to specialise in. Within the game, if someone does something noticeable or of interest, we try and actually send out rumours and islanders, which are basically newsletters for the game. So this is a rumour, or this is an excerpt from someone's turn, just to indicate something interesting is going on. Again, we've got nice prose, but we also have nice graphics as well to go with it. Nothing better than actually seeing what you're doing rather than just seeing black words on a white piece of paper. This is another one. This is another rumour to do with the character Wurs. He's just basically done something in his turn. It warrants people knowing about it, so we've just basically put that on a graphic and sent it out as a rumour. Looks nice. It attracts the eye rather than just prose. As well as running the game, we have a number of ways where we can actually talk and communicate with our players. One of them is the website. So this is the Isles website, which I believe is, I think it's the Isles PBM.uk. If it's not, I'm sure if you do a search on Google, you'll be able to see it in various places. So that's our website. We try and update it as reasonably often as we can with rumours of the Isles, which is information about the game, and you can also click at the top on startup, and that will give you an idea of what startup materials you can get. You can download most of them as PDF. We do take on players every now and then. Your best bet is to submit a startup turn or submit a character creation sheet from the startup, and if we've got space, we'll let you in. If we haven't got space, you just have to wait a few weeks or a few months until we have. As well as having a presence on the website, we also are reasonably active on the playbymail.net. The playbymail.net Discord. The Discord itself covers a huge amount of other games, or a significant amount of other games. Most of them aren't hand moderated. Most of them are the typical war game and the power games, which are very, very popular, which were very, very popular in the 80s and still have a small following now. If you get onto the playbymail.net Discord, you can see a number of different games there. We're down near the bottom and we're reasonably active. We've got a decent amount of things. I'm a bit of a gobshite, so you see an awful lot of stuff from me, but you'll also see the latest rumours and things to do with the game. So that's us. I know it's not much of an introduction, but if you're interested in what the game's all about, certainly come onto Discord and have a chat with us, or alternatively go on the website at theislespbm.uk and just have a look, see where we go. Have a good one. Cheers.